All right. Lastly, I think Michael spoke about this story yesterday, but just a reminder: ICE is a terrorist organization. Now, I know that's a little bit hyperbolic, but what they're doing is they are specifically attempting to target people. We just had a failure of the Justice Department. A federal appeals court yesterday, Thursday, ruled that local governments do not need to provide certain types of help to federal immigration authorities to get millions of dollars of federal grants. So, in other words, the Trump administration was basically saying, you're not going to get policing grants unless your police function as surrogate agents on behalf of ICE. Now, the reason why municipalities don't want to do this is because it hurts public safety. Look, even the Constitution, we have it in the Constitution. The original census contemplated that in cities across the country, you're going to have people who are not citizens. The census specifically says you count everyone. So the idea that you're going to have people who are living with you who do not have citizenship or paperwork has been contemplated for hundreds of years. And once you can accept that fact, the idea that you don't want people who are walking around to be able to provide information to first responders to help public safety is, it's reprehensible, but it's also just sort of incredibly childish. And so cities don't want to do this. And fortunately, a ruling from an appeals court panel, I think this is out of the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, has found that the Justice Department can't do this. Now, it's going to move up to the full court as opposed to this three-judge panel and then maybe to the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, understand that the plan by the Trump government, the Trump administration, and ICE is just basically to create terror amongst the immigrant population. And here's a guy, John Collins. He's from upstate New York and got a dairy farm. And all of a sudden, ICE officials basically come in and raid. And here's what happened.
I was talking with my one employee, and Marcial was finishing up the milk house, and I heard the milk house door shut, and I heard some talking going on in the milk house, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was a salesman coming in and just saying something to Marcial, and the next thing you know, I hear the door shut again, and I looked around the corner, and I could just see the one guy's arm going out, and then the next thing I'm looking, and you can see Marcial's face pushed up against the glass window on the outside of our milk house. So first thing I was thinking is someone had some scuff with him and was fighting him, and so I stuck my head out the window and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And so there was three guys standing there, and one of them was checking him up and down, had his hat, and the other one had kind of his forearm against the backside of his head, and the other one was, the one was also putting the handcuffs on him. And so I'm like, we got any issues? You guys have to have a warrant to come in here? I don't, let's go, what's going on? He says, well, we yelled in the barn to talk to you, and he started running, and that's when I really, was like, don't lie to me, number one. And I said, don't bullshit me, because I said I was standing. They couldn't see me. It was almost like I was standing here talking, and Marcial was just right around the corner there. And they made it like that he was running, so that's why they could detain him. No ice jackets, no nothing. They were all dressed very casual, very... So I could already see where this was going. It was, not, they were, it was very, very, I couldn't believe how unprofessional and how the whole situation was, because Marcial's wife had gone to the doctors this morning. She's pregnant. She's due on July 16th, and my other worker had taken 2 of the kids into the hospital, or to a clinic, just to check the kids. And she had said before she left, can someone put the kids, well, she was told Marcial, she yelled in, I could hear her yelling in, and she said, hey, can you just put the kids on the bus? And so, in the meantime, this whole thing is going on. 2 of the kids are standing out here, getting ready for school, and their father's getting thrown up against the wall. And then, between the lying and that stuff, that's when I'm like, not good.
I'm sure. I mean, just the danger that everyone is in. That this father of 2 with another child on the way, helping this guy who's got a dairy farm in upstate New York, who represents to the rest of the country. That you have to send in these undercover ICE agents, a whole team of them, to rough him up and smash his face against the glass window in front of his kids. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, there's just no other, and somebody told me that they were listening to WNYC the other day, and a ICE agent called in. I've been working there for 19 years, and she was very upset that she'd been demonized. She's a Democrat. She's like, I can't leave. I can't afford to do it after 19 years. I'm not going to be able to find another job. And my heart goes out to people who are stuck in those situations. And if you're stuck in those situations, you're stuck in those situations. But and I'm not going to judge anybody in that, I've been in situations that are very difficult. You have a kid or 2 and you don't have a means in which to make money. It's difficult. Nevertheless, one of the things that's going to be difficult about that is you have to deal with the fact that you're working for an agency that is really despicable. And if you got to ride it out, you got to ride it out. But
then it is what it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is, and my heart goes out to those people who are stuck in those situations, because obviously there's good people who work everywhere, but the organization is disgusting.
And also just think of the pigs like Laura Ingraham or Sean Hannity, or these people who have no, they're unbelievably affluent. They have the easiest, sort of lives imaginable, and their daily propagandizing is the, subtext and the context of these types of things. Like, that's what they're feeding every single day.
All right.